Hello everyone and welcome to the Hapori podcast, episode 9. I'm Rangus.
I'm Chokoto.
And I am Auto, I'm Thatchmac.
That was a beautiful introduction. Again, I think this may be a common thing, 3 people.
It's worked well. Episode 7 was really great.
Mm-hmm. I will say this because I think Tokoto mentioned this earlier, is that if he goes on mute, he's got a reason to, I think, family reasons or whatever, so excuse him if he goes on mute. It's not like he's ignoring us or anything like that. Also, because I kind of want to, I feel like I'm taking charge of this podcast so far, I guess I'll introduce things this time because it's quite good to do so. Even though Renzo's was great doing the quote-unquote transitions between the different things horribly, but it was great.
I love my forced transitions too.
Yeah. There won't be a mock showcase this time around. Reason being is that I think we've all agreed that they kind of take too much time up.
They're not canceled. We're still going to do them, but this podcast, the last few podcasts, we've been kind of, I'm going to just say, we've been scraping the bottom of the barrel for mocks. We haven't been really too interested in the mocks we've made. A lot of them are just like, oh, I guess I can talk about this mock. So in this episode, we felt like it was just pulling things down a little bit and slowing down the pace of the podcast. And because we have anything that we're really excited to talk about, we're just not going to do mock topics. Like, nobody really has anything good enough to talk about. Nobody really wants to, and we don't want to...
And another thing as well is when people are talking about the mocks, they're generally like, okay, right, so he's our mock, his name is Briggs, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? For example.
It gets very monotonous.
Yes,
it gets very...
exactly. So I guess we should get into our first community discussion. Thatch, if you want to take it away from there, mate, and then
Yeah. So this time it's actually really community stuff. It's not Star Wars or something. This is actually pretty cool. We struck gold this week because a lot of things happened really quickly. So this is not in order. Technically, the second thing was announced first, but I want to talk about this one because the first one is really exciting for me. So I don't know if all of you guys know, but there was an old series on BioTube called Jaller, and it was just these short comedic shorts. There was no stop motion. They were live action, but like the dude didn't have his hands in them. They were more like Chronicles of Darkness styled almost, but they were really funny. And the guy making them was like really good at doing voices, and he could do so many different voices. They're really silly, but sometimes they can be hit and miss, but a lot of them are really, really funny. They're really great. And some people probably won't like them because they're so funny, they're not serious, but a lot of people really loved this Jaller series. And I think it was in 2013 he made a video. He started in 2007. So then in 2000, so he basically a year after the original Jaller figure came out, which is the star of it, obviously, not Jaller and Mari, it's Jaller and Nika. But 10 years later now, so in 2013 he was like, oh hey, I'm going to college. Don't expect too many more Jallers or whatever. Gone, and we didn't hear anything from him for 4 years. And now 4 years later, at his 10-year anniversary, the Jaller channel makes another video for the 10-year anniversary, right? And it wasn't just that. It wasn't just, oh, hey, 10 years ago I started doing this. He announced that Jaller 3 is coming out in November, which is insane because we haven't gotten a Jaller video for 4 years. It's crazy. It's like seeing such a channel, such a dormant channel finally spring to life again. It's so weird. It was so unexpected too, and it's really exciting because it's probably going to be really funny, and the dude has just gotten older and probably better, and I'm pretty hyped. And I'm also excited to see because during those 4 years, a little thing called Bionicle Generation 2 happened, and I am so excited to see if he's going to make jokes about Generation 2. But, yeah, this is great. Tokoto, you know Jaller, right? You've watched some of the videos.
No, I grew up watching when I was a kid. I freaking laughed my socks off. Ooh, that's a good pun. I watched it as a kid. It was like, Jaller is my favorite Bionicle set. He's my first Lego set and my favorite Bionicle set just because it's some nostalgia to me. And see, like, freaking a whole show based off him was like, oh yeah, this is golden. It's how I found out about it. I was searching out like Jaller reviews when I was a kid because I like seeing like other people like reviewing the set and such and give people different opinions on it. So I freaking found Jaller for some apparent reason, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I think you're pretty excited too, right? Rangus, you haven't really heard about Jaller.
Unfortunately, not. Don't shoot me down in the comments because you probably will. But I'm not familiar with this person. As soon as Thatch mentioned that this guy was coming back after 4 years, I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna have to. I looked on his channel. I was like, right, man, 8 years ago or whatever, going back sometimes. Like, he's been around for some time then.
Yeah, sorry, what were we going to
No,
say?
carry on, don't mind.
I was just going to say, it makes sense why you haven't heard of him, because you weren't really too involved in the Bionicle community until G2 came around, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's about right. I did do videos when Hero Factory was around, but obviously that was on Bionicle. So yes, G2 was definitely where I came back into the whole thing. You can be like, oh my god, you weren't there for G1. Well, I was. I just wasn't making videos. I just wasn't interested in YouTube at that time.
Rangus was not born until G2 happened.
I don't think so.
Rangus is like 2 years old.
2 years old with a voice like this.
Yep. Oh my god. Just wait till it's puberty. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen this guy. I think after the podcast or something, I'll definitely have a look at some of the older videos, and obviously,
Rangus, you'll love it, man.
You don't give up. If you watch when you're like, that wasn't very funny, just keep watching, because they get.
Yeah.
The early ones aren't very funny, but the newer ones are pretty darn funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot to watch.
Yeah.
They're so good. I love that Jowler drinks coffee. Oh my gosh, that was so good. But he's back. It's so crazy. Like I said, and the Bionicle community has changed so much since he was around. So I'm so excited to see what he's gonna do. I genuinely think I'm so surprised too. Like, wow, maybe it's oh hey, wait a second, 4 years? Maybe he completed college and now he's done and now he's coming back. Who knows? But I'm excited to see his grand return. And speaking of grand returns, let's talk about unless you guys have anything else to say about Jowler.
No, I guess yeah.
All right. I'm going to initiate the transition again. Speaking of grand returns after a few years, Waste Disposal 3 might happen. So, I mean, I could be a friggin' news anchor.
Yeah, I was going to say, you sound like a friggin' Thatcher McIntosh right there.
I know, it's my job. And so clearly we're seeing that. Anyway, but Waste Disposal 3 might happen. So here's the situation. Basically, if you don't know what Waste Disposal is, I'm shocked. It's a fantastic stop-motion series. The first two are great. He puts a lot of work into cutting the pieces and painting them, and the animation is great, and the sets are great. It's a really great, unique series to the Bionicle universe. I don't even know if it takes place in the Bionicle universe. Nah. It's just unique.
Yeah, it's just its own thing, I believe.
But it's so unique and different. I love the feel of it. It's really cool. It's something I've always kind of liked out of Bionicle, like the dark, gritty metal feeling. I just love it.
Yeah.
But the first one is incredible. The first one's so good. And the second one's also really good. Oh, that was weird.
I know.
Finally sent. But what ended up happening, though, is so it was a few years after the second one. It's been a couple years. He just announced that he's starting a GoFundMe for Waste Disposal 3.
Now, you may be like, yeah, it sounds great, but Thatch, carry on.
He's asking for, I think, €5,950 or something for it.
Why?
And he's saying once he hits that goal by the end of August, then he'll make it. Which is now I don't want to judge this guy because he's a fantastic animation person. Obviously, he made the first two, so I have a lot of respect for him. A huge inspiration for a lot of my series and everything. But as someone who makes stop motions at 24 FPS, who makes sets, in Fodden 4, there's a set very akin to a Waste Disposal type set. It's a metal box with wires and everything. It's very similar. I painted figures. I animate at the same frame rate he does. You don't need that much money to make a 15-minute stop motion. Now, I know the defense is going to be, and he said he doesn't want to limit himself. He wants to go full-blown. He wants to make a really crazy epic thing. But my rebuttal to that is Waste Disposal doesn't need to be a huge, epic, amazingly climactic ending. That's never been the point. One of the greatest parts of Waste Disposal was the really claustrophobic feeling it had. I mean, the whole first episode takes place in a box, for goodness sake. Like, the feeling of you in a ship and it's so claustrophobic and spooky, that's the best part. So if he's like trying to make this crazy large epic thing, I feel like that's not what Waste Disposal is. And I feel like a third one, he doesn't need to do that. And asking for 5,950 quid for that, or euro quid, whatever.
That
it's
was,
either quid.
That was a British thing there.
I don't know. It's either euros or quid, one of the two. I don't know. I don't know what
pounds.
those pounds.
Quid.
Oh my gosh, how many are there? Geez, holy smokes.
Quid is a slang thing for pounds, but carry on.
Okay. What should I say then, Rangus? What should I say?
Just say that he's asking for a ridiculous amount of money for a video that's probably going to be like 3 to 5 minutes long.
15 minutes long is what he's saying he wants it to be.
Still.
Well, still, you don't need the last. I mean, like, still, you don't need $5,000 to make it. 5,950 monies to make a waste disposal.
Monies.
What's up, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm confused, like how he was like, I don't know why all of a sudden he needs a GoFundMe page when he's when he worked on episode 1 in the first 2 episodes. I mean, if this is like a huge project where he needs like that amount of money, I think there's something else that he needs other than just work getting the stuff for the project. So I don't know what the heck why he needs that much money.
I don't want to go making any allegations here because again, this dude is a very popular summer artist. I have a lot of respect for him. The first place are great. We're not saying we don't like the guy. We're not saying we don't, like him. But we're just really confused as to 5,950. So if he sees this video, please comment in the description and let us know. He's probably not going to see it, but if in the event that he does, let us know why it's going to cost that much. Like, and if you're saying I've got big plans, can you give us an idea of what you mean by that? Because it's really puzzling to see how waste disposal, again, something that started off inside of a box, needs that much money to make it big. Like, it's again like this, like it just we're just really confused here. And we still really respect the guy and everything, but I don't know. I'm just sad. I'm just sad because I know he's not going to get that much money for it. He's not. The GoFundMe's not going to get paid. No one's going to pay that much money. It's got probably like $50 right now, and it's going to end in August. Mm-hmm. And it makes me sad because we all want to see Waste Disposal 3, but we probably won't. And I think the best case scenario, it doesn't get funded, and maybe he just goes with a plan B and makes a smaller scale ending, which again is I think what Waste Disposal like needs. Like I feel like that fits it way better. You know what I mean? It's not this big epic series. It's a very claustrophobic based thing. But again, we might not know. So if he sees the video, let us know, please. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bit. I don't know. This fair enough. Like if it's to do with buying props or whatever and so on, okay. But it doesn't need to go to that extent of being that, demanding of that type of money. Because, I mean, if you go out there and say, oh, well, I need, 1,590 something by the end of August to make this animation, if you want to see this, pay up. It's not going to... People are just going to be like, well... People don't generally like paying for stuff on YouTube anyway. To get, so to think that to pay money to see an animation, it's not going to happen.
I know.
It's not going to happen because people are already a bit, for example, when YouTube's like, oh, well, we're making this new feature, YouTube Red or whatever, it's like, oh, well, you have to pay a subscription. I don't want to do that. I want YouTube for free. That's what it's going to be like. That's what the case is going to be. Fair enough, people want to see that. But if it doesn't get made, you still got the first 2.
And if I know you still got, and they're great animations, man. But I would love to see another one, but it probably won't happen. The thing is, like if you're gonna do that, sure. So you're gonna say, I have this vision, and if you're honest, I really want to. I feel like being humble. You should just be humble and ask for 1,000 monies. That makes way more sense, that's way more reasonable. It's still gonna be hard to get, but but still that's way more reasonable than 5,000. Maybe he honestly okay, maybe he's got a legit, maybe he budgeted this whole thing out. But I feel like when you're doing it, you got to give some and you got to take some. You got to have money
that's
yours.
The money back as well from YouTube itself, or.
He probably would make a decent amount. I mean, the first 2 have got a ton of views. I don't know. Again, if you're asking to get paid for something that you're going to get paid for, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Again, he's got a really good reason.
We could be entirely wrong, and it could happen. So don't take the Hapori's word for anything.
And we're not like attacking him or anything like that.
We just can't understand why there would be such a demand for that amount of money.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll explain why after the date, like getting all the money in and such.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he will make a video about it, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I know he did mention that he wants to rent out an office. Which is, I mean, I don't know, man, use your basement. Which means, like, again,
it depends where he's from, because if he's in the UK, he won't have a basement, so he'll have to.
Yeah, yes, but, like, if it's, like that's, again, the scale is, like, it feels really odd. Like, it doesn't feel very wasteful, but I think we've been talking about this for too long.
Yes.
Again, we're not attacking him. We have all the respect in the world. We love the first two. He's a brilliant stop-motion artist, but we're just really puzzled.
Confused. So I think we should move on, because considering if people get the wrong idea, even though you said we're not attacking him, people still may be like, well, in my eyes, you are. But to that person who's watching it is typing away, stop, okay? Because we're going to talk about Journey to One Season 2, even though it's one season. It's not two. I can't understand that. I'm going to get that out of the way. Whoever made that decision, stop. Rethink your life, because it's not season 1 and 2.
They should have done, like, all right. So the 1, 2 is like the first half of the season, and then like this, the final 2 episodes are the second half.
Season 1, part 1. Season 1, part 2. It's not a second season.
Can you guys hear me?
That's what I'm doing with House Legacy.
What did you say, Thatch? Sorry.
Can you guys hear me?
No, we can hear you now. But I just couldn't hear what you said before.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so now we're talking about JD with Season 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or the last 2 episodes in my eyes, because it's not on second series.
I know. They were trying to, like, oh, it's got a Season 2 now.
Come on, guys, we still got a second series. Yeah, there's only 2 episodes out, though.
There's only 5 episodes in the whole thing. That's barely 1 season.
Exactly.
JD was Season 2. I think we can all agree
the better
Season
half
2.
of Journeys.
I don't think
episode 3. It's my personal favorite. I love that episode. Technically it's episode 4, which again is dumb because the epilogue the prologue shouldn't count as an episode. Technically, if we're doing it that way, episode 4 then. The one where you actually see them fight.
Yeah. Episode 4.
I think that is my only favorite episode. The rest of it I dislike.
I love episode 4, but episode 5. Oh man. Episode 5. Oh man.
I don't know. I hated the ending. I was annoyed by the ending.
But I guess we can just get into our opinions.
Yes, I think we should generally go around like how we would review the movies. I think how you've done it in the last podcast. If you did it that way, do it that way.
I'll go as fast as I can here.
Okay.
So, J2O Season 2. It's really puzzling because I want to say it's not as good as Season 1, but then there's an episode like Episode 5 or Episode 4, which is genuinely... I really like Episode 4. I think it's really good. But then you got Episode 5, which is probably the worst episode because of the ending, which really makes me mad. The ending genuinely makes me mad. So I think I like a lot of the ideas here. Like, I love that the shadow traps turn into the
and I'm pretty sure we all just like knew that would be the case just from looking at the sets anyway.
I know it would have been dumb if it wasn't, but it was cool. I like that. It's cool to bring back something from the past and like reuse it again, so it feels more relevant.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense why they didn't do that earlier, but doesn't even make sense how they do it. But whatever, they reuse it. It's fun to see. It was a lot of fun seeing the Toa fight the beasts. That was really fun.
Yeah.
They're using their powers. I love seeing the Toa with the creatures and everything like that. It was really good. I genuinely really liked that. And I love the animation when Tahu's getting his mask ripped off. That was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Genuinely, like, that was epic. Like, I loved that. There's a lot of, like, that stuff is really nice, and I really appreciate that. Well, I think it's just a really great episode, and there's a lot of build-up. Like, you get the feeling that, oh man, stuff's going down in the next episode, and oh boy, did it.
There's not that much stupid dialogue.
Exactly. And it's fun to see the Toa work as a team too. That was great.
Yeah. Like each bounce off each other. You actually see Tahu and Kopaka helping one another. You see Onua and Pohatu, and so on. So
yeah,
it's quite nice.
Yeah, agreed. And I love when the villagers come and help them out. That was fun.
Yeah. I
It's just-
thought one of the villagers died or something because there was like a blast or something that hit someone in the background, like a red villager. I was like, has he just been RKO'd? Is he dead? Flew backwards. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Casualties of Dragon 1.
There's like
but
3.
But yeah, it was a great episode. A lot, and I love seeing like Umarak, like him building up his evil plan, even though there should have been way more time dedicated to him collecting the fragments of the Map Health and Power.
Can I
still see? I'm hold on. Let me just finish my opinion. Okay. So episode 4, I really liked.
I love that episode.
Yeah, probably my favorite episode of Journey to 1. Episode 5, on the other hand, is probably the worst episode of Journey to 1. It's bad, like genuinely terrible. Like, so you get what does Ikimu turn into the Toe of Light in this episode? Or was it
no, it's in episode 4 at the end, and everyone's like, "Whoa, Ikimu!"
That's a cool note to end on, although it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
But it's a cool note to end, like, oh man, this next episode's big battle's gonna go on, final battle, let's do it. So the Toa, whatever, they climb up the mountain, which is really boring. They get to the top, and this is when I get mad. So, first off, Ikimu just kills Agil, sacrificing him to make a flash of light. Like, what? Agil just dies to make a flash of light. Like, that's just... Come on, Agil's like one of the coolest...
such a good little character as well, like in the 4th episode, and like...
He was in the show for like 5 minutes. Like,
yeah, but he was good for what he was in.
It was cool.
He attacked Umarak. He's like, man, get away.
But friggin' Ikimu just kills him. Okay. And then Ikimu's not the Toe of Light anymore. Okay. It's just like, then why did he become the Toe of Light again? Like, it didn't make any sense. And then the Toa are like fighting, and it's not as good as in the last one. There's this weird shadow and fighting with Umarak and Makuta. And then I guess the big plot twist is that part of the element that was needed for to create a portal to the shadow dimension was light or something, or
Golly, just get.
I know, Kodo, you're gonna explain it, but it wasn't explained in the show, so it was really, that was dumb. And then they do raise him, and then Umarak just dies. Okay, why does he need to die? Not explained, but he just does. Okay, bye. I mean, he was a terrible villain after he was put on that mask. So it doesn't matter.
I had more characters killed off like a girl, just bye.
Yeah, and then friggin' Makuta's all like getting ready or something, and then Gali is sucked into the shadow dimension, and she's just walking around, and her like soul is the shadow.
It would be Gali though, it just would be.
It was cool to see Gali do something.
Yeah.
Because she never does anything. But her voice is annoying. But she got into the Shadow Realm, and the Shadow Realm was cool. Had a lot of great ideas. Like, it actually seemed like some mature storytelling could be there. Like, there's this really cool shot of all the creatures there, and there's villagers who are serving. Because the idea is that the whole city of the Mask Makers was sucked into the Shadow Realm. Mm-hmm. So Makuta just ruled over this city forever. All of the villages.
It wasn't the city of the Mask Makers. It was the central city in the region of Stone. Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to make a correction.
Yeah, no, thank you. But so Makuta I like the idea of him ruling over these poor villagers for thousands of years. Like, that's really dark and spooky, and you can tell he is because you see some villagers there, and some of them have skull spiders on their masks, implying that the disobedient villagers get mind controlled by skull spiders, which is really interesting and really mature and really that could actually be really cool. Not mentioned at all, just shown in a shot. Okay, thanks for that. Completely wasted opportunity there. That could have been awesome, but nope. Gali's walking around in the Shadow Realm, and she's doing something, and then she walks into the Temple of Light or something?
Yeah.
And there's just the Toa's quest written there, like their whole journey written. And Ikimu, by the way, is just such a freaking butthole throughout this whole episode. Like, he's like, I cannot tell the future or whatever, because they're all going to have to commit suicide and die. He's telling them because he knows if he tells them, they're not gonna freaking do it.
I agree. As much as I like Akimu as a character, he just was a bit off in this.
He was a butthole in this. He was such a jerk. He sounded like this big, like he didn't care about the Toa, he didn't care about them dying. He showed no remorse, just not even telling them, right? So then Gali has to go in the Shadow Realm. She has to read it and go, oh, look at that. Here you go. We all gotta die. And then she goes back, or somehow
transition to flashback.
She goes back and she's like, hey guys, we all gotta kill ourselves. So
and the Toa have never been so happy to do so.
And everyone's like, oh, but of course. And then Ikimu's just like, yeah, you do. He's not like, why'd you tell him, dude? You shouldn't have done that. He didn't even try to stop her, but I mean, I guess he didn't. Like, basically, he didn't want to be the guy to break the news. Gali did, and then I guess all the Toa were like, oh, okay, let's do it. And so, oh, gosh, this is so bad. So all the Toa so Makuta gets halfway out of the freaking portal. Halfway out of the portal, great. He doesn't even get to do anything. He gets halfway out of the portal. I will say, one thing I liked, I don't even know, this might have been episode 4, but there's this flashback it's Ikimu explaining what happened to Makuta, and that was cool. I liked that.
Yeah, but it's episode 5 when Gali's in the Shadow Realm, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Well, that was cool, but that was thrown out in 3 seconds. So then Makuta gets this big villain who's been hyped out this whole series, both 2 seasons, hyping up this villain.
4 episodes.
This big old bad guy, the villain of Bionicle, right? 10 years of history, gets halfway out of the portal. Good God.
And does nothing.
He gets halfway in the portal, does nothing, kind of waves around a little bit, and it's just like, oh, I'm bad. And all the Toa go, like, all Power Rangers on everybody, and start, like, they shoot beams out of their chests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What?
Apparently they can do that. I mean, they could have done with the Beast, you know?
Yeah, so they all just go up and go all Power Rangers, and they just shoot their chest beams at Makuta's beam.
Trying to do like an Iron Man special there with the arc reactor in the chest.
Yeah, and so everyone's shooting beams at each other, and then eventually Makuta's like still halfway out of the portal. Big bad guy. He's all like, oh no! And then they just shoot him back, and he gets sent back into the Shadow Realm. The portal's closed. I'm guessing the magical power shatters
and then the Toa just go with.
The Toa die. They go into the stars. They go to heaven. Whatever. And Ikimu's freaking like, okay, what it's been done has been done. Cut to Aizator, not even Normoto, who was in the beginning, going like, ooh, the Toa, they'll come back when we need them. Oh boy. Dead. Gone. The end. And so basically.
And then after that, 5 minutes after, Bionicle 2 was cancelled, or G2 was cancelled. Like.
And so basically, then we get to the point where, okay, so let's take a recap here. Let's look at the entirety of G2 and what was accomplished. So let's look at what before the Toa came. Let's look at how the world was before the Toa came. All right. Makuta was in the Shadow Realm. Ikimu was asleep. The creatures were gone. The Toa, the villagers were scattered. Bad guys were coming because Makuta was controlling them, and basically the island was under attack because Makuta was in the Shadow Realm controlling the bad guys. Let's look at after G2. Ikimu's now awake. The Toa are gone. Makuta's in the Shadow Realm, and he can control bad guys again to keep harassing the villagers. So what was accomplished over that time period? Ikimu woke up, and they moved to the capital city, but that's pretty much it. Makuta can still control bad guys and tell them to do so. He's not dead. The Toa basically accomplished almost nothing. It was basically Ikimu manipulating the freaking Toa to wake him up so that he can freaking get all the villagers back into the Mask Maker City so he can freaking rule over them all as the one true Mask Maker. The Toa are gone, and he's pretty much Supreme Emperor of Okoto now. And Makuta can still threaten them. So I guess the fan theory that Ikimu was the true villain of G2 is correct. What a bullcrap ending. That is so bad. Mm-hmm. That is like the worst. And they're back to whatever the asteroids. Freaking, oh my gosh. It was such a terrible. Oh man, I'm so mad. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it.
Absolutely right. So I'll talk about my thoughts because, talking about them, fast, as you said.
I'm sorry. Freaking, I went on for a little bit, but I got really.
So because I wasn't in the podcast last time, I guess I'll quickly go over what I thought of quote unquote season 1. I thought it was okay. It wasn't great. I hated the fact that there was such a reliance on the creatures that the Tor were basically nothing without the creatures until this point. And it's like, right, okay, yeah. I mean, for the past 10 years, it hasn't been like the Tor were meant to be like these great beings, but obviously that isn't the case now because they're after relying on these things to jump on the backs. Okay, yeah, alright. We'll go with that because, the toys do that, right? And, they probably just were like, right, okay, because, the sets can do it, we'll have to put it in there somewhere, and there'll just have to be a heavy reliance on them, so they're constantly there for screen time. Okay. Right, so my thoughts on Season 1, meh. It's not great at all. I think it's okay. From what I remember, I don't think I liked... Let me have a think. I don't think I liked the first episode. I could be wrong. Oh no, I think I do. I think I liked the first few parts of the first episode. I think it's episode 2 where Tahu's flying around. I'm like, right, okay, yep. So we're getting this like really dull down, sort of quote unquote comedy now. Great, yes. Yeah, Umarak I enjoyed. I still think the voice was a bit meh. I sort of think the first season, I hate saying season, the first half of Journey to One, the writing was okay, and areas it was great, some areas it was bad. What do you expect to Bionicle? Season 2, on the other hand, episode 4, if we're doing it like that, if we're introducing the prologue, whatever. I think episode 4 is the best episode. There's not that much dialogue, there's not that much bad writing. The Tor actually, are working as a team. Things are flowing quite well. The animation is probably at its best. You're not getting any stupid moments. It's a bit serious, I guess, Tahu losing his mask and so on, with the two creatures ganging up on him. It's like, okay, yeah,
There's 3 beasts.
Oh, is there 3?
There's one behind him and you can't see too well.
Oh, fair enough. And then overall we get Akimu turning into, his buff self. Which is like, right, okay, yeah, set, whatever. Has to make an appearance. I don't like Umarak in Season 2 or Journey to One Part 2. I just don't like him. He's just there. He's not really relevant.
He's so boring.
The voice is terrible.
I did not like.
I retrieve the mask. Okay, yes, you've changed. Good for some. Episode 5, I absolutely hated the episode. Like, I just dislike it with a passion. I'll run through it quick so we can get on with Toko. I don't want to go in it too much. I completely agree with everything that Thatcher said. I think it was such a wasted opportunity to begin with, because it could have been a case of Akimu sacrificing himself so the Toro actually could stay there on Akoto and actually keep protecting and all that stuff. But no, it's not the case.
Friggin' Akimu gets to rule as Supreme Emperor of Akoto.
Yep. And then, so on. But that never happened. And then Lego coming out 5 to 10 minutes later after the episode was on Netflix that everyone was waiting for. So they must have timed it and been like, right, so the majority of people have already watched the episode. Yeah, we're cancelling G2. Wow. What a way to cancel something. You just waited till the Tor sacrifice themselves, shoot up in the skies like some magical light show. Akimu's there like, yeah, I'm good, I'm safe, right? I'm going off home, I'm going to bed. Yeah, and then when all the stories come out, everyone will be talking about me because I'm the only survivor. Right, okay. And then...
Well, friggin' no one can question him, not even
exactly. Exactly, not even... what's the bird called? Oh, the eagle. My apologies.
Yeah, because he killed that thing too.
Yeah, it's like, right, yeah, he can't even grass on me now. He's dead.
Kasai's gonna hate us for trashing on
Akimu. When you're watching this, I love Akimu. I absolutely, in the first half of Journey to One, I loved him.
Yeah, he was cool.
I think in the second, it seems like he's a completely different character.
Yeah,
it kind of seems like he's talking down to the Tor in a way, especially when he gets his new body. He's like, what are we standing around here for? Let's get moving. It's like, hold on.
And the whole freaking, like, The way they end it now leads to my new fan theory that the whole thing was a manipulation by Akimu so that he could kill his brother, and he could kill Agil, and he could be the only matchmaker, and he could kill the Toa, so that he could be the only friggin' supreme ruler on Okoto. That's my new fan theory about Chichu, because it only makes way too much sense.
Mm-hmm. And so he can get rid of everyone so he doesn't worry about any problems anymore. And so he can get back alive.
So that he can rule and no one can question him.
Yep. I don't know. I just think it ended prematurely, to be honest. It didn't have the ending that it deserved, even though it was for 2 years. We didn't expect that. You know, we were like, I think most people were still like, Bionicle's back, I'm still getting into it and all this. And it's like, yes. And then just 5 minutes later, it's over. What?
Yeah, we were expecting 3 years. 3 years was
I would have been happy with 3 years, but 2? No. Just stop, because when everyone makes the argument, like Lego always plans out, you know, their like lines or whatever for 3 years. Well, why was Bionicle G2 for 2? Oh well, it wasn't selling well. No, it's because you didn't market it correctly. Let's be real.
Okay, let's not get on Bionicle G2. Maybe Tokoro can share his thoughts.
Yes, please.
All right, so episode 4 was pretty good. I actually really like it. Like I
think we all can agree on that.
Like, I'm glad that the Toa were able to fight the beast and such. That was a great episode. I love the intro scene with Umraki and Makuta talking to one another. That was awesome. I love that. It's freaking cool. Yeah, I mean, I like how I mainly just showed the Toa's point of view, and then towards the end it showed with Umrak and such. It's like, all right, we gotta go after him. And I wish they kind of did something a little different with Akeem returning to the Toa, like towards the end of the episode, and just maybe like it kind of be like mysterious also. And like after Anua leaves, he kind of gets like the thought, like a Gil comes in, instead of just him showing going through that little door thing with Bobber with all those crystals inside and how he turned into Toa of Light. This shows like, all right, yeah, he comes back out and he's like freaking Toa of Light and to the Toa and such. So yeah, but yeah, I don't have too much to say about episode 4. It's a good episode. I really like it, and I think the characters kind of more flow down with their fighting skills and such. And yeah, so episode 5, it was all right. The ending was horrible, which I'll get into. I didn't really like at all. I was really shocked by it when I first saw it. But I thought Toa fighting the Beast again was kind of unnecessary. But I kind of liked how they faced off Umrak throughout the whole time, like chasing him, trying to get the pieces of the mask and such. And I thought that was kind of cool. But also I felt it went on for a little too long. I kind of thought something else would happen that in episode 4, like this is before Journey 1 came out last year. I was thinking that, oh, okay, so probably episode 4 is like kind of lead up, and then Makuta gets freed at the end of the episode, but it's actually completely different. I thought we were going to get a third year, but no. But yeah, I mean the ending was kind of really bad. Freaking, how does when Gali goes to the Shadow Realm, like how does not Makuta be like, you should have been aware that Gali was there? Because he was looking, he's like, oh, Gali's probably over there, I'm gonna go check the corner. Instead, it's freaking wrote in the Temple of Light, whatever, or freaking the prophecy. What the heck are you doing, Makuta? And he's like, oh yeah, we're just all gonna stand here and just, we'll see Gali over there and ignore whatever she's doing so she can stop my plans. Woohoo. But I don't know, I felt it was really stupid. I don't know. It's the Shadow Realm was cool, but also Makuta, I don't even know how the freak he's like that. Like, how is he in that form? I have no idea. How the freak does he have the mask open power? How is he wearing? Is it the kind of like, I don't know. But it's weird, but he looks cool. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. And then with Gali in the Shadow Realm, it's just like quick thing, and then showing the prophecy on the wall. It's like, oh, look at that. But I mean, I wish it got some background, I guess, because it showed us that where the creatures actually didn't come from Makoto, because it showed that they came from the sky, like the same place where the Toa came from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah.
Talking about where the Toa came from is reminding me of how they're hinting so heavily at a G1 connection.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it. Good God.
Yeah, well, at least in my series, I have an explanation, so take that.
I know, but all I needed to say was have a line where it's like friggin', where he was like, you guys came from another planet, and you guys are once great warriors, and you saved a bunch of people called Matoran. That's all you needed to say. But don't even do that. Oh my God.
And I know Akimu definitely knew. I think we all know that. Is if he knew about what the Toa was.
It's a part of his manipulative freaking plan. Doesn't tell him where the Toa came from.
Yeah, well, I had it. I did a couple episodes of Theory Thursday, and I was right because Thatch pointed that out to me as I was looking through my old Theory Thursday episodes, and I made one last year around April saying that Kimi was hiding something from the Toa, and I was right because he was hiding the freaking prophecy of what would happen to the Toa.
He's hiding their past from them, and he's
It's like, what the heck? And there's other things I got right too before. I heard about the cultist return. I made that before. He actually returned in chapter book 3. I wish we got Colta and during the one. That would have been so cool, but they obviously won't do that because Lego doesn't care.
I wish they actually explained how the Toa changed from the Masters to the Uniters.
They got new armor.
Yeah, they got new armor. It was explained at the end of the prologue.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. I just
stupid. But
one thing that really bugged me is that returning characters. Where's the protectors? We saw in 2015, and then all of a sudden they disappeared. We saw Narmoto, if that was him with an
Isotor. We saw that.
But where's Korgon? Where's Nilku? It would have been so cool to see in the City Matchmakers like talking to us. Like, all right, so I'll see you later. Oh no, this is gonna be gone, and we're gonna see the Matchmakers. Woohoo!
Or even a scene at the end while it's ending after Toa leave, where friggin' all of the protectors go to the Temple of Time or whatever, and they take the Mask of Time, and they're like, okay, till we need you again, and all the protectors put it away or whatever. That's all you needed to do. Something like that would have been cool.
Yeah. But talking about the ending, Gali came back and such. I believe everyone's pretty much seen during the one, but I don't know, I was really disappointed. I was like, all of a sudden the Toa figure out, oh, we are the elements. No freaking kidding, dude. No, whoa. See, I'm just a master of water. I can control the water. I'm not the actual environment of the water itself. Well, Jesus. Where that came from. But, I don't know. That whole ending was a mess.
Yeah, it was so bad. It was.
Yeah. If anyone likes it, that's your opinion. But it's not like uber worst ending ever. It's just bad. It's just bad in general, in my opinion.
I don't know if there's anybody that likes it. People may think it's fine, but I don't know if there's anybody that's like, man, it's such a great ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Makuta. I wish we got Makuta actually. I was really hoping to see Makuta and Anakoto taking over. That's why I was really. I thought episode 4 was the big lead up, and then Makuta would escape at the end of the episode.
Exactly, and the Toa gets into the Shadow Realm, and they're in the Shadow Realm.
And they had to find a way back.
Yeah, and it would have been way better.
I think I did that my Theory Thursday before. I did one last series through everything, and I really done one since. But I don't know. It's just I thought the whole ending was a mess. I really the Toa. Oh, all of a sudden disappear. Gil died. Oh, that sucked.
You can do a Theory
We
Thursday.
don't know Gil died, but he's fused with Akimu in some sort of way. It's weird. But
Thursday, that's a follow-up to Akimu being evil, and then just go through what we discovered in this podcast of him freaking manipulating the Toa. You should make a Theory Thursday about that.
He's like the Emperor from Star Wars, isn't he? Do it.
Pretty much is.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's on both sides pretty much until you see he's on the other side. But I don't know. That's pretty much all I gotta say for those final 2 episodes. And overall, just quick thing about During the One. It was a good TV show. It was an alright TV show. The animation I absolutely love. Volta, you did a great job. You probably won't hear me say this and such, but I absolutely love the animation. I wish the voices were better. I wish they were different from one another, just having that robotic tone, the voice, had edited to the voice. I didn't really care for that at all. I wish the story was a little more complex.
Overall, if it would have been longer and it had been 3 years, it probably would have been really good.
Yeah, I think getting a 3rd year would kind of maybe give people a better thought about it.
So now let's wrap this up because it's getting along.
Yes.
Let's give our opinion. Let's give our rating for season 2 and then our rating for During One as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go first.
I'll go first because considering that I wasn't there for the first half of Journey to One. Quote unquote season 1, I'd say probably about 6.4 at highest. Season 2, I'd probably give it a little bit less. I'd probably give it just a 6. Even though my favourite episode is that it can't surpass, the 2 episodes that were before it, because episode 5 drags that second half of Journey 1 down quite a lot for me. So overall, I'd say pretty average. I'll just say about 6 on the whole. Nothing too low or high, I'd say.
All right, Tokoto, what do you give season 2, and then what do you give Journey to 1 as a whole?
So season 2, I'll give a 3 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 or 4. Episode 5 was bad, but I would say freaking episode 4 saved it. Episode 4 was really good. Giving it a 3, I think it's maybe appropriate. Maybe, I don't know. That's the best number to give
The
it.
only reason I've given mine 6 is because episode 4 for me.
Yeah. I would say Journey to 1 as a whole, I would give it maybe a 5. A 5 out of 10. It's kind of good and it's kind of bad. It's 50-50.
Yeah. All right. I'd give season 2 a 4.5 out of 10. I'm really mad.
I feel too generous now.
I want to give it more because I really liked, again, my favorite episode of all Journey to 1 is episode 4. But episode 5 is so bad and ruins so much and really is just ends it on such a low note that honestly, episode 5 I would give a 1. And
episode
I would give
5 makes me dislike G2 a bit. I won't lie.
I don't want to say I dislike G2 completely because I do like the ideas and I love the sets. So I don't think.
Yeah, I just think.
And my brain has been segmented the ending from G2 so much because I can't mentally accept. Episode 8, or not episode 8. Whoop. Episode
8. What season you been watching?
Episode 4, I'd probably give in 7.8 out of 10 probably. And so because friggin' episode 5 is so bad, it goes down to a 4.5 for me. It's just so disappointing. And then Journey 1 as a whole, I think, is a 5.5, maybe a 6.
Okay,
6.
well, I feel like I've given it too much of a high score now. I said 6.
I think Journey 1 as a whole, I'd give a 6.
Yeah, I think if I was going to rate,
I want to give it a 7 because I kind of like it more than the old Bionicle movies. But then again, I just think about how bad the ending was, and it's anywhere between a 5 and a 6 for me.
If I had to rank, say, episode 4 and 5, episode 4 I'd say gets a strong 5.5, and episode 5 just gets a solid 1 because it's awful. I don't know, I just feel like it's so disrespectful the way it ended like that and everything, but...
And especially since G2 is so much gosh darn.
Yeah, if you like episode 5, don't make it seem like we're bashing you or anything like that. I just think that majority of people are just generally disappointed with the way it ended. Exactly.
It's just bad ending. I'm just gonna say it's a really bad. It's worse than G1's ending. G1's ending, a lot of people don't like it. I like G1's ending because at least it was very climactic and epic. So at least there's that. This wasn't even that. This was just pathetic. Mm-hmm. It was such a pathetic ending, and it's so mad because it's really soured everyone's opinion on G2. And I really like G2 just for the books. The books are really the second 2 books. Books 2 and 3 are just so good, and everyone says, "Oh, G2's so bad," but books 2 and 3 and all the sets I really liked. Yeah. So it's
I mean, G2 had some maybe 1 or 2 bad sets, but so did G1. G1 had a hell of a lot.
G2 sets compared to G1 sets, it's not even a competition. Mm-hmm. G1 sets feel like bootleg G2 sets.
I just think it's because everyone's became so... Well, the majority of people have got that used to the new building system. Going back to the old one, you're like...
I know.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from something really depressing. Really exciting. The day has come. We were gifted. People didn't know if it would happen. There was rumors that there was a point when Pacific Rim 2 looked like it was canceled.
Oh, yes.
Remember that? Remember that when it was
I think it was last year or something.
I was so mad. I was like, why? Mm-hmm. But today that didn't happen. They got to filming. They filmed. They got some great actors. We got the first teaser.
They've been filming for a year.
Yeah, we got the first teaser for Pacific Rim 2, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Now,
thank God.
I think I'll start with this one because I want to get it out of the way and all that stuff. Considering that you went first, Journey to 1. I absolutely adore the first movie. I think it's generally in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. A lot of people are like, oh, the story isn't great or whatever. I don't care. Just seeing these things fight on screen is amazing. It's breathtaking that the fact that they went to this extent of them moving in certain ways to make it that realistic, and even the kaiju, the way that the skin would move and so on, and how it would reflect stuff and everything. I love it. Yeah, okay, the story aspects that ain't great about the first one, but I still think it's absolutely amazing. The second one I was so ready for. I remember when I was when the first one came out, I was like, this ain't gonna get a sequel. There's no, why would it? Do you know what I mean? I couldn't imagine it. And then when I heard about, oh well, there's a second one in the works, I was like, how are they gonna do it? Like, from the way the first one ends, how are they gonna work it? You know, because it kind of, you know, ties everything up. So it's got a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
I think that, and it didn't look, you know, from when they were talking about, oh, it could be cancelled. It's like, well, things don't look that great for it, and it's like, oh man, I'm gonna be devastated if this gets cancelled because I love the first one. And then, you know, when we've seen set pictures and so on, it's like, okay, this is looking pretty good. And then we get to see some of the Jaegers, like Gypsy Avenger and the other ones, and then we get the first teaser. Now, people have complained saying, oh, well, why do they look like that? It's propaganda. They're trying to get people to join, you know, the Jaegers and so on, like trying to get pilots. So for that to happen, this is just propaganda, and that's kind of what it is. It's an interesting way to do a teaser, because I think generally a lot of people are expecting actual footage from the movie. But it kind of gets people just excited, and it doesn't show anything. Because, let's be honest, this promotional little thing is probably going to be in the movie for like about 5 seconds, and that's it. I think it was really great. Casual little teaser as well. It's just interesting in the fact that they're going this route of they're trying to recruit more people to be pilots. John Boyega just does a fantastic job. I love the fact that he's the son of Pentecost. I absolutely love that. And he's he's piloting Gypsy Avenger. Didn't you know that, Toko?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's the son of Pentecost in the first one.
By the way, what a name, Stacker Pentecost.
I know.
Dear
I know.
Our voice.
Man, I wish Idris Elba didn't, you know, die in the.
Spoilers! Oh my gosh!
This was from 2013. Come on.
Frank, it's just spoiling movies.
Oh well, get used to it.
Darth Vader's Luke's father.
It's like, oh my god, you spoiled the Star Wars for me now. I'm going it. You always get that odd person. I'm absolutely excited for this movie. It comes out in February. Also alongside the one Marvel movie I'm excited for, Black Panther, in the same month, which I find really odd and a bit weird, the fact that it's in February. Because generally, if you know movies, February isn't the best month to put movies out.
It comes out in February? Are you serious?
Yes, February.
Wow, it's way quicker than I thought.
February the 26th, and then Black Panther's on the 16th. Oh no, 23rd, sorry. So, quite close together. I think that they may have made a mistake of releasing it so close to Black Panther. We'll see. We'll just have to see, won't we? Because, you know, I kind of think as the years went by, the movie's built up that much of a fan base that, you know, I think more people will go and see this one. Because if I remember, this first one didn't do that well until it hit Japan, and that's where it really did well. So that's why we're getting a second one. I'd love to know your thoughts on, like, obviously how you thought about the first one and how you think the second one's gonna play out.
Well, me and my dad were very excited for this. You know, the first one came out, as we saw in theaters. I was like, oh my god, freaking mechs, like freaking giant robots fighting monsters. That was like, all right, I'm sold. My dad was too. He liked the first one, and he was like, when they make a second one, I was like, oh shoot. But you know, John Boyega having his lead, that was a good idea. He did. Mm-hmm. I think him as Finn was great in Force Awakens. I have not seen him in any other movie I have not watched any other movie John Boyega's acted in such yet. But yeah. Doc, you got anything to say?
Hold on a sec.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll. I was gonna say, like, when I first saw the movie, I liked the movie. It was a good movie. It had a lot of different colors in it. Reminded me a lot of this Guillermo del Toro directed Hellboy, and I'm a big Hellboy fan. I grew up watching it. I'm not cussing. It's the name of the movie and a comic book, but I'm a big Hellboy fan, and those movies I watched as a kid, I absolutely loved them. And the scene that got me like a lot of it, having Ron Perlman was in it. I was like, oh, of course they're gonna have him. He had in every single movie and such of Guillermo del Toro's, and also having in Troll Hunters and voice acting one of the trolls. But I think I'm really excited for the second movie. I've been waiting for a long time for this, and I'm glad they're making a sequel. I didn't think they were afterwards. Like Renga says, like, I think one movie's fine. Some movies are like that. It's like making a sequel is kind of like stretching it, and that's happened with other movies making kind of the franchise fail in some aspect. But I'm really excited for this one. It wasn't going to be called like Maelstrom or something like that.
Mm-hmm. What? Sorry.
Wasn't this movie supposed to be called like Maelstrom instead of Uprising?
Oh yeah, something like that. It's generally what happens with movies is that when obviously sequels coming out, people always speculate what the title would be. So I think they went with that for a while, and then obviously when Universal or I'm sure it's Universal was making this one. They changed companies halfway through, or whatever. And they were like, oh well, it's called Pacific Rim Uprising. So hey, well, there's the name change, and that's the official name. So but yeah.
Okay, so I'll get into my opinions on it, I guess. So basically, I love the first Pacific Rim 2. I think it's such an awesome, just part of filmmaking. Like, I don't know. It's so cool.
It did. It proved people wrong, because when it was coming out, I'm sure it was like, how is this going to work? People are already, it's going to be terrible and all. It comes out, sit down, shut up. So it was like, we'll carry on, Thatch. I apologize.
Yeah. That's fine. But yeah, I agree. I just think, giant monsters fighting giant robots. Like, you feel like it feels really cheesy, but they pulled it off so well, and they did such a darn good job making the fight scenes. The fight scenes are really good. Like, they're just so gosh darn good. But I don't know. I just think they really pulled off doing the whole. I just thought they pulled off the whole like monsters fighting robots thing really well, and I just love the action scenes. I love the first movie, and I'm so happy that we're able to get the second one. It's just great. I don't know. I'm really pleased. I really like the way the Jaegers look. A lot of people are complaining that they look too like thin or that they're too fast, but they're based off of Striker Eureka because they're newer models, so it makes sense. But I'm really excited for the movie. If the story isn't good, I don't care, as long as they really pull off the action and make us believe that Jaegers can fight kaiju. That'd be great. Or Jaegers can fight Jaegers, whatever they're going to do with it. As long as I can make it, we can buy it just like the first one. They have cool characters. I think I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nice. But that's pretty much all we gotta say, right? For Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that is the end of the podcast as well. Yeah. Anyone else want to say anything before we go?
Thank you for watching.
Yes. Thatch?
Yeah, thanks for watching.
And yes, I'll say, bye. You're not getting a thanks for watching from me.
But
yes, yeah, bye.